Well, today we're going to be doing a little bit of, you guessed it, Dremel tomfoolery. A little bit of Dremel nonsense. Got my little guy here. Got that there. This is my mushroom project that I'm still working on. Gonna put the old goggles on. Reckon I might just use the mask today. But we'll see if that fogs up ye old goggles. And we'll find out. I get the feeling I'm going to have to project a little bit more today. Because the video stream was not exactly clear yesterday. And I wasn't even wearing the mask then. So we'll see how this goes. I got my little mushroom friend. I've decided I want to make him into like a pizza pie. A pizza pie mushroom. Oop. Looks like that's it for that sander. We're burning through these things. Probably because I'm not using them right. Hard to tell, really. I mean, I suppose I could look it up, the internet and all. But isn't it more fun to learn on your own? These are really quite difficult to get on there. It's not easy to get the sander on right. I don't want to jam my tool here, so I'll collet wrench. Use my collet wrench to loosen my collet. And then use my collet wrench to slam some stuff down onto a tool. Oh, isn't that handy? There's a little hole on my collet wrench that I can put onto here, and then I can press down on it and get the sander right on there. And sure enough, it's right on there now. Well, that wasn't in the instruction booklet. Could have used that. Ah well, what are you gonna do? Like I said, it's more fun to learn. I like making little discoveries like that. Alright, I got a nice stable sander. And just get to work. Now I wanted you guys to be able to see a little bit better today. So I'm putting this up on a platform. And that seems to be making all the difference. See how much mass you can subtract off of there with just with a sander? Wild. Wild what a difference one of these guys makes. All that sawdust coming off of there. Alright, time for a little change. Now here's the thing. I want to make this thing thin. Like, picture a pizza pie on top of a thin stick. But if I try to grind this thing down to thin while the whole stem is thin, it's probably just going to snap. So I figure I've got to start at the top and then sand the bottom. But I wanted this bit right here to act as kind of the gills on the stem of the thing, because sometimes mushrooms have those little bits that stick out and feather, and so I figure I would kind of put those in there. Then once I've got this into a pizza pie, underneath the rim here will be a lot bigger, and I'll be able to carve gills coming outward in a radial pattern, kind of like a wheel, and finish it up. But the start of that is switching this collet out and going to my grinder bit, my wood burl bit, which I got over here. I have quite a nice little tool kit that I got for my birthday. It was a nice little present from my parents. They like to surprise me every now and then, but I got a really nice little tool kit full of all kinds of different widgets for doing all kinds of different work. So I'll get in there and I'll grab this little guy. It's just a sort of a spiky ball on the end of a stick, and I wish I could focus on that for you, but it ain't gonna happen. You can look it up. There's this thing called the internet. It's great. And then you can see what I'm talking about, but it looks kind of like, well, you know those weird air conditioning units on the top of buildings where they got kind of a spinning orb that's letting ventilation out or something? It's like one of those, and it's got those little ribs on it, and it just eats into that wood. So here we go. There you go. They're kind of getting in there now. Now, I don't know, guys. Do you think I should try to work my way up, or do you think I should sand my way down? That's a tough question. And I feel like the answer is a little bit of both. So I'm going to do a little bit of working on it. We'll see where we go from there. get a decent angle on this. We got this crud on the edges that I want to get rid of. Need to work all of that down. Try to keep a nice even line all the way around. So that my pizza disc comes out looking pretty even. And we're just working a line around here. Making a very basic guideline here. Once I got that, then I'll go in heavier. But good idea to lay down a guideline first. Probably get to a point where I'll be marking this thing with a pen or something. You know, like a professional. But I got it into my head that what I really wanted to do here was freeform. And so I'm going to see that through, at least on this one. Might get a little bit more controlled and a little less experimental on the next iteration. Ooh. There we go, that grip seems to do it. Okay, got my guide circle, and I can work my way in. There we go. All this extra mass here. Now I'm going to go right back to the sanding bit. There's my collet wrench. There you go. Got to keep myself a little bit more organized around here. Get that guy in there. Got that thing closed. Wrench it down. And subtraction. Might be about time to switch this one out. Ugh. It's catching now. What I really ought to do is lay down some sandpaper and just rotate this on the top of it so I get a nice flat top. And I'm going to see if I can't dig up some sandpaper. That's some fine grit, but that ain't going to do me. Gonna need something a little heavier duty. Luckily, I got just the thing here. This is a heavier grit. Obviously it was meant for a power sander, but my power sander's broken, so that ain't gonna do me any good. I'll just pop that on there and spin. I bet there's a lot of sawdust around here. So this is gonna look like a violation of Twitch's terms of use for a little bit here. Highly suggestive, but it is definitely working. I am planing this down to a nice flat plane. Already coated it that much. My workspace is so covered in sawdust at this point, and I'm liable to start a fire down here. I'm going to need to do a little bit of cleaning up. I don't suppose I really need this right now. Frankly, it's uncomfortable. Let me take a look at what I'm doing here. I'll pick this up. I'm just running this in circles against the paper. That's it. It is is definitely not the most exciting content that I've ever created. But if you'd like to see some of my exciting content, feel free to head on over to the YouTube channel. Take a look at what I call Padventure Time Norway, because I have a show with 64 episodes traveling from the north to the south of Norway. And I yak at you through the whole thing. It's great. There's a little chat window. There you are. In case anybody does show up. You gotta earn it on Twitch. They don't just hand you followers. You gotta spend time at the old grindstone. It's alright. I don't mind putting in the hours. I'd be doing this anyway. And I talk to myself a lot, so really this isn't all that different from an average afternoon. Except that it's morning where I am. You get the idea. This is working great. Do that. Far from pizza thin. Seems like a lot of work on these projects is just based on patience. Sort of a Zen experience. I wonder if I could consider this meditation. Too slow. I'm a millennial, what can I say? I'll do that when I get down to the end, so it'll be nice and even. No, not wearing my ocular protection anymore. Where did I put that? Where did I put them goggles? Them gaggles. Got any gaggles around here? Oh boy. You're gonna need some sort of visual protection or something. You'll have to excuse me, I was talking to a girl from Wisconsin the other day. It's infectious. She put her Wisconsin right up inside my brain. Oh, they're right here. They're right here. It was there all the time. because the bit is rotating this way, it wants to catch that way. So I don't like to work this way. I like to work sort of clockwise around it, because that seems to fight the urge to spin out of control around the edge there. That seems like a thing that they probably teach you. That probably is something that they give you in the basic course on woodworking, or Dremel tooling, or whatever it is that I'm doing. Microwave cookery. Just sanding away here. Oh yeah, cooking it now. I can see I got brown spots. This sander's about to go. You wait and see. It's just gonna rip and fly off of there in a minute. In the meantime, it's gonna shoot little tiny pieces of crystal, and they're gonna hit me in the upper lip, and I'm gonna go, ooh, that smarts. For such a tiny thing, that is flying at a high velocity, and it hit me in the lip. The other day when I finished my stream, I spit out a bit of wood. Just a chip. Nothing big. I don't know how that got in there. I don't remember it flying in there. But there it was. I mean, I'm talking this whole time, so it makes sense. Come on, little sandpaper guy, I need you to give up the ghost. I need you to rip and fly off of there. I see I'll have to take action. So removing these things can be kind of a bitch. I'm not sure as to how to get started on it. They usually tear a little bit on their own, but I suppose I could use my collet wrench to try to get in the top there. I don't want to damage the rubber stopper. Wonder if I can use the edge of this screw here. No, that's just sanding down the screw. Well, that is a fun thing you can do. Sand down screws? Why not? Okay, I'm just gonna have to wiggle it back and forth, and there we go. Okay, so there goes that guy. You can see there was this just huge bald patch worn into it, and it just wasn't sanding good anymore. So we'll say see you later to that one, and I'll dip into the stash of like 20 more that I've got. It's no big deal. They give you a ton in these packs, so. Fresh sanders. Use my handy dandy collet wrench socket here to pop that on here and then press that down into there. End up with my sanding piece nicely nestled onto the top of my rubber stopper. I don't know if that's what that was meant for, but man, does it work out perfectly. That's a great little trick there. I'm gonna tighten it down. I'm compulsive about that kind of thing. I have to tighten it down or I get worried like it's gonna fly out of there or something. Now watch this. It's just gonna. Jesus. Well, that wasn't the plan. So it just kind of exploded. Maybe shoving it down onto the rubber stopper isn't the best way of doing what I'm doing. Maybe that isn't advisable, or perhaps this one was faulty. I'm not sure, but it is quite jacked at this point. So we'll give up on that. And like I said, I got 20 more of the things, so I'm not really broken up about that. Let's pop a fresh one on there. Poppin' Fresh. Ooh, that's a copyrighted trademark character. Maybe I ought not to bring him up anymore. Regardless, here we are with a fresh one of these. And I'm not going to do that collet wrench trick because I'm really afraid that that's going to damage it. So I'm just going to kind of let it glide on there all natural like. No wonder. Now that you've heated up a little bit, will you tap down on there for me better? Now you're a little warmer. I don't think so. Just a little. There you go. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I kind of am in love with just this. It's like in Super Mario 2, there are like these sort of cubist mushrooms, except they're not cubist, but they have harder edges. You know what I'm talking about. Look it up. But I kind of am in love with the idea of making one of them. And if I hadn't gotten my heart set on the idea of doing this ultra thin piece of pie mushroom, I'd settle with just this. So I think that's probably going to be the next one, is I'm going to make like an old school Mario low res weird mushroom, but for right now, I got my heart set on the super thin one. So that's what we're doing. pizza pie. A little pizza pie mushroom. Got my fingernail. Just gonna polish these nails. Absolutely love the smell of wood smoke. And when you get down towards the bottom of one of these sanders, you're not doing a very good job of sanding it, you're almost cooking it. And then you just get that great campfire smell. And I love it. Rub it all in my hair. Blah. Back to our flat circle sanding motion. Definitely wouldn't want to be doing this with the stem all thinned out. So there's our progress. Coming along on a nice little flat top mushroom. This guy would be great if it would be, if things would burn evenly. That would be rad. If they don't. There we go. smoothly. There we go. Coming off of there, right? There we are. Good. There are goodly some of these today. Use them up. That down on top, and then we go drilling away. So once it warms up, it seems to be able to go easier onto the rubber stopper here. The whole process seems to work a lot smoother. Now, that's pretty thin. So I'm going to work off some of this gill material here in the bottom. Alright, so this whole middle area here, I'm convinced I'm going to have to burl off. Like, not sand off, because it's too round, and I won't be able to get it without nicking the top, well, the underside of the top, and I don't want to do that. So I really think that I'm going to need to use the wood burl, just this little guy, to work off all of this stuff. Afterwards, I should be able to get in there and sand it pretty well with just some standard sandpaper, instead of using the Dremel. Oop, little tower topple there. But I need to get in there and burl out that whole under area, and that's going to be a little bit of a project. Let's get to it. Bum 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 bum. That was some great theme music. I hope you really enjoyed it. Hop you back in your little spot, and there you are. Probably learn how to clean this thing at some point. Be a good idea. Do some basic maintenance. Make sure that my tools don't get too wrecked up. Good. And at this rotation it wants to pull down, not up. Which is awesome, because I really don't want to damage the cap. I bet. Yeah. I worked my way around this whole way. And I just cut down inward. I bet I could make an extra disc that hangs off of this thing. And I'll make it happen. It's gonna be neat. I'll end up just removing the whole thing anyway, but I think it'll be neat to try to subtract mass in such a unique fashion. You see the little smokestack coming out the side there, just blowing sawdust out the side like a little sideways chimney. That's pretty fun too. A little observation. too thin, is it? Nope. Okay, good. Here, just cutting downward. Through there. Yep, it's working. My genius plan is working, and I'm pretty excited about it. I can feel it loosening up. It's only connected at a couple of points now. Is it off? Nope. It's coming. There it is, a freewheeling ring, a free-floating ring. I'm pretty pleased with that. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to cut that out of there. And just getting a little hole over here. Cutting a little slice through here. Go. And a little slice through here. There we go. 2 halves of our little magic ring there that we made. And that results in a much thinner sander on the top, which is desirable. That was, after all, the goal of our little expedition. Now what I'd really like to do is just keep working around this little circle here. And the flatter I can get this thing, the happier I'll be. Because again, I want this to be like a little pizza pie. Got the edge there. This side's a lot thicker. By the time I'm done with this thing, I want it to be pencil thin. Which is probably going to seem crazy or perhaps even impossible. And it may well be. I may chip this thing off and that would suck. But I will learn something while doing it. To quote Adam Savage, failure is always an option, especially when I'm around. He didn't say that last part, that's an addendum I came up with. It's like working on the world's tiniest wood lathe. Which is an integral part of making the world's tiniest violin. And again, I'd be using the sander at this point if it weren't for the fact that the angle of it is not going to work in this little crevice here. I can do the sander on the top, but the circular motion of that sander, I cannot get it into a position where it will not be eating away at the cap. So I'm stuck in this sort of odd situation of having to use a much smaller bit. I'm an idiot. There's a smaller sander bit that I haven't even used yet. Like I said, I'm learning, guys. Check this out. A little bit smaller, right? Be perfect. It'll be perfect for this. This is the right tool for the job. A much smaller rubber stopper. With a much smaller sander head. There we go. Oops. Trouble's having long hair. Woo! First of all, that's going to be a problem. It's not supposed to go down there. I'm going to need to find a way to keep it from slipping. But first of all, I can sand the underside of the disc. And then second of all, I can stand in here rubber stopper. That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. I can stand in such tiny places now. Hang on. We'll be right back.